Have you ever wanted the same content to appear in different places on your site? Perhaps you've wished you could have links under different parent pages point to the same page. Well, you might find your needs met with the reference component. Let's have a look. Let's pretend your site has a newsletters page, and it exists currently as a child page of all news under news and events. Now let's pretend your boss wants to be able to find a link to the same newsletters page underneath the parent page publications. But it turns out you cannot customize the menu offerings under a parent page. What we mean is this menu of child pages reflects exactly the child pages of the parent page. So therefore, if you want to have a link under publications to the page newsletters, it'll be impossible to make that link go to the newsletters page that exists under all news. What should you do? The answer is you will have to create a new page under publications that is also called newsletters. However, you will not have to copy all the content, and you will not have to update two separate pages and always worry that they aren't exactly the same. This is what the reference component is for. Let's see how it works. On the AEM Training site, under the parent page Grad Students, we have a page called PhD Requirements. On this page, we copied some content from an existing LSA department in order to give you a real-life simulation. The page has text components as well as accordions. We'll pretend our boss wants PhD requirements also to appear under prospective students. The first thing we must do is go to the Sites directory, navigate to prospective students, and under it, create a new page. We will call the new page PhD Requirements. The next thing we strongly advise is to make sure the content on the page that already exists is within a layout container. Why? Because it will give you more control over the appearance of both pages in medium and small screens. You might not ever want to adjust the widths of the components, but if you did, wouldn't it be delightful to have that ability already set up? Let's look at the content tree for the page we're duplicating. You can see there is apparently a layout container. However, this is a non-adjustable one that is part of the page structure. Let's add a layout container and then drag all this content into it. Then quickly we'll look at the page in medium and small viewports and carry out any adjustments we might want to make. Now let's set up the new page that is going to have exactly the same content. We want the whole enchilada to appear exactly the same whether we click on PhD requirements under grad students or prospective students. So we're going over to the new PhD requirements page we created and doing one thing: adding a reference component. The layout container is optional. If the page is only going to have this reference component, you won't need a layout container. Now we want to make the reference component display everything that is on the PhD requirements page under grad students. Click the component and select the wrench from the toolbar. You may see a very unfriendly menu, but here's what to do. Locate LSA websites in the left column, and then you should be able to see your site. This will look a little different from other times you have to locate a page or asset in the directory. You want to choose the directory item that has a page icon, not the folder icon, until you get to the page you're duplicating. When you arrive at the page you're duplicating, then you will select the folder instead. So for this example, we are clicking the folder PhD Requirements. Next, we see a choice between a folder marked PAR and an image. We want the PAR folder, even if we can see there are further folders. Select PAR, click the checkbox, then again click the checkbox. Success! And since we configured the original page content to respond to different sized screens, the content in the reference component will behave the same way. The reference component is not limited to duplicating an entire page. It can in fact be used to duplicate as little as one component. For instance, on the series of pages on the training site that we use for setting up examples used in the training, there is a pull quote at the top which is the same on every page. The original pull quote is on the layout container page, and on the rest of the pages it is reproduced with a reference component. For more support with using the reference component, we encourage you to attend an open lab or contact the help desk. Technology Services is here to support you. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to email our help desk at lsatechnologyservices@umich.edu.